This lesson was recorded in 2020 for my students in Russian and translated with AI, so I can make more videos for you. Please support the channel with likes, comments, and subscriptions. New lessons are on Patreon. Hello, friends. Today we have another winter masterclass, a boy under a fir tree. Aside from drawing the boy, the rest is very intuitive. I'll use a long bristle-angled brush and a calligraphy brush. We'll also need an old brush for masking fluid, and I'll sprinkle salt for some fun background effects. Everything else is our standard kit. As I said, the trickiest part is the boy, especially if drawing people scares you. I'll walk you through the essentials, placing the head correctly. I set the horizon on the lower third. We also place the boy on a thirds line. Mentally divide the sheet into 3 parts and sit him on one of those lines. For easy proportions, start like a little snowman. 3 ovals, 2 similar ones for body and shoulders, and a smaller one for the head. He's turned slightly away, so the nearer shoulder projects a bit farther than the head. The legs tilt forward a touch. He's leaning, and the back leg steps back. Now the head. First, find the chin in relation to the shoulder. Feel where the neck rises from the shoulders. The scarf hides the neck, but you still need that chin point. Think of the head as one shape with the hat. A single, humanoid head with a hat. Notice 3 upper contact points. The top of the hat, the tip of the nose, the lips, and the chin. 4 points that line up along one slanted line. If you catch that tilt angle, placing the head gets much easier. Also, don't cut the back of the skull short. Especially in children, the cranium behind the face is large. Draw a sight line from the eyes toward the branch so he looks at the bullfinch, not off to the side. Mark where the bird will sit along that line. I'll paint the tree with the brush later. From the humanoid head, I build the relief. The eye socket tucks under the hat brim. The hat sits on the forehead. Then a tiny triangle for the visible corner of the socket, another triangle under the nose, and one for the open mouth. 3 little triangles of form. Check the distances between those dents. The largest dent is the eye socket. The 2 smaller ones, under the nose and the open mouth, are similar, then a slightly larger chin beneath. That's the hardest drawing part. I softly lift excess guidelines so we don't have harsh outlines. Double check the head from a distance. You can send me a mid-stage if you like. Now a bit of masking. On the tree I want rough, torn edges to the snow. I hold the masking brush perpendicular to the paper, handle pointing at you, and dab chaotically. If you brush masking like paint, you get smooth, too clean borders. Here we want ragged snow edges, so dab and wiggle. Snowflakes too. I do them irregularly, not perfect dots. A quick masking contour to protect the bright lower snow from the background. You could do it without masking with careful negative painting, but masking makes it easier. Add a dusting on the boy's shoulders and hat. Let the masking dry completely. colour time. From here, it gets more intuitive. The long bristle brush shines on natural textures and larger formats. It makes lively, uneven marks, yet the tip can sneak into small corners. Cotton or any absorbent paper is best. Good blooms happen when the paper drinks water. If paint just skates on the surface, the look changes. Carefully outline around the face. We're essentially drawing the face now with negative painting. I also wet through the tree area, then tip the board so washes run downward. Drop in ultramarine at the top and let it drip. Lift extra with a tissue if needed. Let the paint do its thing. Drips and blooms are welcome. It can flow into the tree. We'll refine the tree dry later. White patches left here and there are fine. Now mix a darker value. I have oxide black. It granulates and dries lighter, so I mix it with a regular black, like lamp black neutral tint. If the big brush can't reach small features, switch to a small brush and place that crucial nose-mouth line cleanly. I tip the board the other way so the dark can creep upward. Remember, on wet paper and with absorbent stock, colours lighten and soften as they dry. Take your mix a touch deeper than the final value you want. Tree colour. I use emerald for phthalo green, but I subdue it heavily with browns and a bit of indanthrone blue. Ultramarine also works, granulation and all. Hold the brush mid-shaft to reduce control. Let your hand wobble and make natural, chaotic branch marks. Top area is still damp, so edges there stay soft. Lower down it's drier, so you'll get crisper tips. I'll detail the top branch, the bullfinch perch, later, dry, to keep it readable. I also leave extra whites here and there, not just masked areas, so it doesn't become a flat fill. While it's damp, sprinkle a little salt. If it's too wet or already dry, the salt won't do much. You can tint paper corners with a clean, cool blue for snow shadows. Keep it fresh, don't muddy it. Even though the right edge is masked, I still let some needles cross the contour. Keep the silhouette lively. Jacket time. Smaller brush now. The front of the coat can be the darkest. On the back I fade into ultramarine, and on the leg I touch in a little ochre. Let the colours flow into one another. Uneven hems are good. He's standing in snow. Shoulder and scarf with broken, irregular strokes. Separate the arm with a little cast shadow under the sleeve. The hat is lighter than the coat, a soft grey. The scarf doesn't have to be pitch black. Keep it airy. Much less water here. Crisper, drier strokes will show the hat texture. For the face, mix a light warm brown, ochre or raw sienna plus a whisper of carmine red. A gentle blush on the cheek will bring him to life, but keep it subtle. The darkest face shadows are under the hat and under the chin. Suggest them very lightly with a cool violet glaze. Keep the nose highlight white for now. Add the tiniest dry shadow under the nose later with a small brush. Back to the tree. Drop a few more shapes where it needs defining. I hold the brush on its tip, and with a small tremor it draws fine random twigs almost by itself. If it's still a bit damp and you get small flows, let them be. You can add a few more front needles if you like. I decided to nudge the coat colour again to clarify the form, optional. A few thin shadows along the hat band. Maybe a tiny extra hint under the chin. Careful not to flood the face. Better to stop early. Perfection is the enemy of good. Also, many scary contrasts soften as the paper dries. What looks harsh now may disappear later. Often, doing nothing is best. the bullfinch. A red circle for the body, a small black cap on top, a short dark line for the back, and a tail, very simplified. You can hint a wing or leave it. Maybe lift a bit on the front for a light. It's tiny, so don't over-detail. The red apple is what reads. A few grasses here and there, some clean, cool blue shadows on the snow, a couple of quiet grey-brown stems. I use the long bristle brush again with little flicks. A quick snap makes a fine blade of grass. You can spatter a bit of white gouache for snow. It looks lovely when it lands on damp tree areas. Optional, up to you. The salt should have done its job by now. Nice speckles. You might even have used more. Now we wait. When everything is bone dry, rub off the masking and reassess. If any edges are too sharp, glaze or soften a touch. I'll leave the tree as is and just sharpen a couple of edges on the boy and add a bit more foreground grass where mine faded. You can also paint in a few tiny white snow touches with a brush if you need to recover them. Just don't overwork. Better a hint and an unfinished freshness than a tired painting. Good luck. Try it more than once, it paints quickly. Drying time is the only pause. By the second attempt, you'll already feel the boy's construction, and it will go much easier. See you in the next masterclasses. Bye.